Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of CoinNewsExtra interview session, a program where we invite innovators, stakeholders, and influencers in the blockchain fintech ecosystem to come talk about the state of the ecosystem and the contributions they are making in this a beautiful ecosystem. So today we'll be talking about application of blockchain in supply chain. We see that blockchain plays a role in different sectors. So we're going to be seeing what role is going to be playing in the supply chain and some of the challenges facing this sector. So with me to talk about this interesting topic is Janet Chacon, who is the co-founder Airblock Technologies. Thank you for joining us, Janet. You are welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. So she is joining us from the US. So how is the weather today in the US?
Right now in Mexico, but yeah, the company is based in Massachusetts, and we incorporated like a year and a half ago, and it's been great. Yeah, it's been great being in Boston.
Okay, no problem. So before we go straight to this particular topic of the day, Janet, I would like to get a brief about yourself and your background.
Yeah, so I work for the aviation industry 15 years. I have an aeronautical engineering degree and an MBA. And so I've been observing this issue with the aviation paper-based documentation for years in different sectors of the industry.
Yeah, interesting. That's a very beautiful background in this sector. So what we'll be looking at before we start to talk about how blockchain is going to play a role in this supply chain sector, what are some of the challenges facing supply chain?
Yeah, of course, supply chain is challengeable because the processes in the back end are very slow and they are basically paperless. So there are some digitalization efforts in supply chain, but since there is not a network that can be a trusty, like building a trusty party network of companies is difficult to share information and to be efficient in every supply chain.
Okay, interesting. So having briefly talked about some of the challenges you identified, we've seen blockchain play a role in different sectors. How would it be of importance in this sector, supply chain sector?
Yeah, so particular in this supply chain that I'm working for, that is aviation supply chain, um, blockchain is gaining a space, and although there is a huge challenge in building this trusty network because companies in my industry, they think that they are losing competitive advantage when they are sharing data with others.
Okay, interesting. We are moving forward in this interview with Janet Chacon, with the co-founder at Airblock Technologies. So, how do you see the future of blockchain when it comes to this sector, the supply chain and the aviation sector? Do you think blockchain has a bright future there?
I think it has future. There are different big companies in supply chain trying to build comprehensive and efficient platforms built on top of blockchain. It's been it's gonna be an effort that is gonna take years to implement. Like if you can imagine building this network of people willing to share data this way, it's gonna take time, and it also needs an effort to not going like a strategic efforts to implement blockchain.
Interesting. Before we draw the curtain on today's episode of Coin News Extra interview session, so you have over 15 years in the aviation sector. You are also the co-founder of Airblock Technologies. How are you making contributions when it comes to supply chain sector? How are you making contributions with your company?
Yeah, so we are in, first of all, we are helping these companies to digitize their documents and extract the data with AI, and then make them see the value of building a network of this and decentralize this information to them to be more efficient, to be connected, to have the information in real time, to build a trustable and an encrypted ledger of information that is gonna be helpful for them to track their airplanes and their components.
Thank you very much. It has really been an amazing time out with you, Janet Chacon, who is a co-founder at Airblock Technologies. Thank you very much for bringing our time to joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
It's our pleasure.